really awful stuff, you're almost forced to completely rely on God, on God in ways that you never had to before. Like, there were days when literally, like, being in the Word and worshiping and praying were the only thing that kept me, breathing. And I know people say all the time, how important prayer is, but until you've actually experienced that, you really just can't understand, like, how much it absolutely changes everything. And when you are in that relationship with God, it's so cool, like, how much He knows us. Like, He knows the way you think. He knows the kind of answers you need, the way that you need to be answered. Like, if you ask for revelation, if you just need an answer to a question, if you need understanding, if you need to find the good in the situation, like, He will totally give you that. And so 2 Samuel 22:3 says, "My God is my rock in whom I find protection. He is my shield, the power that saves me." And, my God is my rock in whom I find protection. So you stand firm and you cannot be moved, on the rock of God. He is your shield. Like, how cool is that we live under the shield of God? And that doesn't mean that you won't feel pain, that you won't get hurt, but it's never more than you can handle. Yeah. And then the power that saves me, His power in your life, it could manifest in many different ways. It could be in His presence in your life. It could be in His voice when He speaks to you. It could be in people that He's put into your life. And as long as you trust in Him, like, He's given you every resource that you could ever need to overcome any situation that you're put in.
Yeah.
And, the end of the Ecclesiastes verse where it's talking about, it's impossible for us as humans to see, like, the entire picture of God's plan for our lives from beginning to end. So we just have to trust in Him. Like, if you think about if you're called to plant a church and He showed you from the very beginning that it's going to take 10 years, you're going to have to lose your home, you and your wife are going to have to work, like, part-time jobs at the mall, you're going to go through all this financial hardship, but then one day you're going to completely hit this breakthrough of growth and you're going to touch all these lives. If you knew about all that hardship to get to that point, you might change your mind. You might decide that you don't want to do it, and then all of those lives that you were going to touch won't get touched by you anymore. And so that's, He only shows us the next steps. We just have to keep trusting Him and keep moving forward with that. Okay. And then now that I'm moving through that stuff and I'm now, getting into, positive things and coming out on the other side, I'm realizing that it's maybe even more important that you trust God and lean on Him in the good times, because in those times we tend to forget, like, how much we need Him and what He's done for us. And so we just have to be super conscious of God's power and wisdom over our lives when things are going good also. And, so whether you've come through something awful or if you haven't even been through anything that traumatic yet, most of you are pretty young, don't stop thanking Him and seeking His will and His wisdom and His plan. And the last thing I want to say is, when all this stuff was happening and, you go to your friends and you want advice or you want counsel, literally, like, overwhelmingly, the number one thing people always told me was, you just need time. Like, it just takes time. All you need is time. And, people always like to say that, time heals everything, but it's really God working in you every single day so that as time passes, you're becoming whole again.
Yeah. So